Hi everyone, welcome to the Typecelerate video tutorial. In the next 10 minutes, I'm going to attempt to explain every feature my website has to offer. Quick disclaimer, English is not my first language, therefore I might miss a few words, might take me a little bit of time to find the correct word for a particular scenario. I am trying my best to be as clear as possible, so let's go. Typecelerate is an internet website that I created to help me type faster and more accurately. I created it because there were some features that I couldn't find on existing websites, which kind of surprised me because there are so many of them. And I'll start by taking a test. Okay, I'm a little bit nervous, so I might be slow or make mistakes. Let me remove punctuation. Okay, so that's funny. Yeah, usually because I test the website so much, I always clear my personal bests. So that's why I got a personal best right now. Yeah, so I finished the test, and first thing you can see is, well, my score, 87 words per minute. You can see the accuracy was 100%, and then you see something that says average words per minute. This obviously measures more than one test. And if you look right here, you can see this progress bar, right? And it says test 2 out of 10, meaning I completed one and now I'm on the second test. The training in this website works by sessions. So this session has 10 tests. That's why we have a score of average words per minute. The more tests that we make, you can see your average over this particular number of tests. The first test was in the random analysis phase, meaning the test was completely random, and now we are on the targeted practice phase, right? So now the test is actually not random anymore, rather it is a combination of a few patterns that an algorithm behind the scenes determined that I was slow or inaccurate in. So let's open this dashboard. Well, okay, so there were no patterns in which I made mistakes apparently. But if you put your attention right here over your slow patterns box, you can see some patterns that I was particularly slow in. So when you see this \b, that means a word boundary, meaning the CO here is not just anywhere in the word, rather it's in the beginning of a word. That's why we have this CO right here and comment and cop. EN and then a word boundary, that means EN that appear in the end of a word, right? That's why we have tan and green. Now I'll complete another test. Okay, so I don't know if you can tell, but now the patterns are a little bit different. This OW I think is new, and this COU in my opinion is new. I don't really remember what it was before, but I'm pretty sure that these two are new. This is because the algorithm is taking into account a bunch of tests from the past. It doesn't just look at the first test from random analysis and then forces you to practice them for 9 tests. Rather, it looks at many tests into the past to determine your slowest patterns and the patterns that you mistyped. I made a mistake in the word chairman because after the word chair I accidentally hit the space, and that's why we have these trigrams here. A trigram, by the way, is a combination of 3 letters in a row. A bigram is a combination of 2 letters. So for mistyped patterns, you can see I have 3 trigrams here. For slow patterns, this is a trigram. These are actually bigrams, right? The \b doesn't count as a character you need to press really. It just says that it's a word boundary. I tend to be slower at word boundaries because I don't read ahead. So I type a word and then I look at the next word and then I type it. And this is something that I need to fix in my own typing, although I do that because I really try to be accurate at the word that I'm typing at that moment. Yeah, and this is the main feature of the website, really. Just showing you the patterns that you are not so good at, and then creating tests that contain these patterns. But there's still a lot more to see in the website. I'll start with these two boxes over here. These boxes allow you to include patterns of your own. For example, if for some reason you really want to practice the pattern EA, you can put it over here, and then you see many of the words contain this pattern. They still contain patterns that are listed here, as long as the word list is able to find combinations of this pattern and these patterns. Maybe let's switch to 10K, because that means there are 10,000 words in the dictionary, meaning it's more likely to find the patterns. So aside from the include patterns, you can also exclude stuff. For let's make a really obvious example, EAIU. So now there are many words with the letter O. Sometimes if you want, let's exclude the letter O instead. And okay, yeah, now you can see you have a lot of the letter U. Yeah, and if for whatever reason this is something you feel like you're going to use very often, you can actually save this instead of having to type it every time. Let's call it just U, right? And now it's in the list of your profiles that you can load, right? We have a bunch of profiles that came with the website, and then we have just U, right? Let's get rid of it so the test will look a bit more normal. And this is the custom profiles feature. Let's open the settings dashboard. Here you can control the way that the weak patterns are being collected and what is displayed in the test. Well, first, as you've noticed, the slow patterns that are being collected and the mistype patterns that are being collected are trigrams. But you can actually collect a bunch of different things. So let's, for the slow patterns, collect maybe bigrams. And for the mistyped, let's collect letters. And let's do another test. Right, so now you can see it included the mistyped letter and slow bigrams, right? Now, it's not necessary that it removed all of the previous trigrams and replaced them with bigrams. It just happened to have done that. The trigrams that we have typed slowly are still somewhere in the system, and they might still come up again if we are extra slow at them in some other test. But right now, these are the 5 most slow patterns that the algorithm has found, taking into account all of the tests that we've done. Regarding that particular feature of the algorithm, we can actually determine how many tests into the past it looks at. In this particular instance, it's set to 6, meaning it takes 6 tests from the past into account when calculating the worst patterns in terms of speed or accuracy. You can also determine the word history, meaning for how many tests a particular word that has been displayed in a typing test will not appear in tests afterwards. So once I type the word cat, there's no chance in hell that it's going to appear in another test for 6 more tests. That's because I simply remove it from the dictionary, and only 6 tests afterwards I put it back in. Okay, and you can control that, and there are reasons why you would want to sometimes put it at 0 to see the same words over and over again. And I will explain different strategies to use the website in another video, right? This video is for explaining the features. I'll make other videos for explaining different strategies on how to use it to improve your type racing or your monkey type 200, like how you can break a record in monkey type, etc. Word repetition, meaning how many times you can see the same word over and over in the same test. So if I put it at 4, now you can see the word cat 3 times, because 4 is just a maximum. You can see the word law 3 times. Sorry, 4 times. 1, 2, 3, 4. Randomness, meaning how many words in the test are actually completely random, and just ignore the patterns and the algorithm, just random out of the dictionary. Tests in a session, meaning how many tests are in a session, right? Like our little guy says 4 out of 10. This 10 over here is because of that slider that we saw. And random duration, meaning how many tests are completely random at the beginning, right? Normally you would want just one, but sometimes you might want all of them to be random, just so you can see, for example, what your average words per minute is over 10 completely random tests. Also, a feature of random tests, which is important, is the personal best. They don't count unless the test is completely random. So if you set your sliders in a very particular way and you want to save that, well, first of all, when you refresh the website, it is saved. It doesn't go away, but you can also save it into something I call the setting preset. So for example, let's put that on 4 and let's put that on 9, and this is on whatever 21, and we can name it as, I don't know, demo ZZZ, and now it's right here with different presets. And that's pretty much it. Any feature that you want to know more about, you can read right here in those tooltips. It explains exactly what they do. You can also take the onboarding tour, which explain the features. And of course there's the video library, which you are aware of because you are watching this video. But there will be more than just this video. There are going to be videos explaining exactly how you can set your settings for a particular goal that you might have. And that's weird to leave to the end, but you can actually customize a bunch of stuff on the website. For example, you can use different fonts. You can change your little guy here from a snowboarder to a child. I like this sailboat. And you can change the color palette. So, right, there are different color palettes that you can use. And if you want to see any more features or maybe more languages, or you think you found a bug, use this contact button and contact me. It doesn't lead to my email, it's just a subreddit and my profile on X. And that's pretty much it. So I hope you enjoyed the website and good luck with your typing journey.